But really the last 3 weeks for me have been consumed with, all trial prep, pretty much all aspects of at least what I'm going to be handling in the trial, jury selection, first closing. That's my 2-week recap. Not Huggers, what do you
Took you about 2 weeks to actually say that whole thing. So glad that we moved on to bigger and better recaps over here. And it's actually pretty cool to see a lot of the hard work I put into it in the first 3 months of the year starting to kind of generate some results, because even though they might not be cases that we're accepting, the fact that people are actually thinking of us, giving us phone calls, sending us cases to review is always a privilege.
And then, we've been building something pretty amazing. So we spent 3-4 hours just brainstorming and starting what is the beginning of a project plan for some pretty big moves that we're going to make, which we can't tell you about just now, but maybe Cam will shed a little bit of light on that. So,
but maybe you won't.
Maybe he won't.
We've realized that in order to move the way we want to move and grow the way we want to grow, we got to get our project planning on point. So, we set up basically a deadline for probably our most ambitious project. It's very doable. We definitely are going to be able to do it. We have some great ideas, and if it works, then it's going to be big time. Big time. Or big league. We say big league around here, right? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to yet another CHE Weekly Recap in which we get a little harmony during the intro. It's nice. It's nice. Anyhow, so this is CHE Personal Injury Law Firm. We do personal injury work for people who are hurt all throughout Florida. So if you need help, holler at your boys. In this weekly recap, we recap our weeks.
Is that how this works?
Amazing.
It's like to find the car crashes, you have to go where the cars are. It's the nuggets of wisdom we drop. John Sullivan. What did you get into this week, man?
So I was out. Well, I guess Igor.
I believe it's Big Boy.
Hey, Big Boy. I did get called Big Boy by a mediator once.
I didn't know that today was wear your pajamas to work day. I wish you would have told me. I would have done it.
Teach you how to live.
He's so pissed right now. He's so pissed.
What are you laughing at, Nut Huggers? Why don't you stand up for the camera?
What are you talking about?
He doesn't want to stand up. He doesn't want to stand up.
Why are you looking at my nuts?
Well, if he stands up, we got to make this an R-rated video.
That's true. But so I was, Igor and I weren't here last week because we were deep in trial prep for the trial that has not happened. Basically, we were in a trial period. This is the last week of the trial period. We did not get the call, but really the last 3 weeks for me have been consumed with, all trial prep, pretty much all aspects of at least what I'm going to be handling in the trial, jury selection, first closing, cross-examination of the defendant's expert, the defendant. By the way, this is Igor's trial, and yes, that is everything. No, I'm just kidding around. But,
we are going to Canada soon. So.
That's right.
That's true. And
the reason Igor's even here is because the trial didn't
right.
Otherwise,
trial
it would be another jurisdiction.
So, but anyway, the interesting thing about the last few weeks and really getting deep in the trial prep is it reminded me, or really, I saw that I have not, me personally, I haven't been this prepared to try a case since probably my PD days. And it was probably a case that I tried with Igor. And so, I was pretty stoked about being able to get in there and try this case, and not that we're not going to be able to, but, I was a little bummed that we didn't get to do it this time around.
When did it get reset for?
Hasn't been reset yet, but when you get handed lemons, you make lemonade, and I dare say that you give Igor and I more time to prep the case, it's only going to get better. So that's the the positive takeaway from there. Other than that, today was kind of the first day that I sort of changed my focus back to business related stuff, and working on a master trial prep workflow that come hell or high waters is going to get rolled out by next Friday. So and other than that, we were all in Denver last week for our How to Manage a Small Law Firm conference. It was a very impactful conference. I don't
changed
remember.
everything we do. Remember. Just completely changed our
something
attitude.
about doing good things for your business, and but very impactful. Very impactful.
Yeah, it'll come to you.
What do you think, Dylan? But we love Denver. It was a good time. It was a good little change of pace because it actually snowed while we were out there. Dylan and I got to hit a Colorado Avalanche game, which was cool to go to, but they sat all the good players because it was the last game of the season.
Well, the Oilers did. They actually played McKenna, McCarr, and some of the guys in the house.
But that's my 2-week recap. Not Huggers. What do you
Took you about 2 weeks to actually say that whole thing. So glad that we moved on to bigger and better recaps over here. This past week has been pretty interesting. I'm almost full swing in the rainmaking role, which has been pretty productive. And it's actually pretty cool to see a lot of the hard work I put into it in the first 3 months of the year starting to kind of generate some results, because even though they might not be cases that we're accepting, the fact that people are actually thinking of us, giving us phone calls, sending us cases to review is always a privilege, so that was cool. And then this past week, I actually met 2 more relationships with different law firms that wanted to work with us, so that was great. And then I was on the tail end of just kind of transitioning some different things on the pre-suit side, just making sure everything's where it needed to be. Because while I'm pretty much out of that division overall, it's still good just every couple of weeks just to kind of keep tabs with the case manager there, just to make sure that a lot of the institutional knowledge that I had over the past couple of years is able to be capitalized on. And then the last thing, while I'm still hot about it, there was a medical provider that one of our clients had gone to that was disrespectful to our staff, right? And I'm sitting here reading the note as I'm just kind of like looking to see what happened. And our case manager was just doing her job, calling up for medical records, calling up for medical bills. And I guess it took her 3 phone calls until the owner of this chiropractor's office decided to tell her that the records aren't ready and she'll get them when she gets them, and then hangs up on her as if he thinks it's a good idea, right? Because not only does he need to get paid, but I would think he's got a reputation to maintain within this industry, because I can tell you one thing, we've never done any work with this person before. Not only am I not going to do any work, but I will go out of my way to make sure that anybody I know never does any work with this person, because, not only for our clients, and his patients that he's supposed to care about, but our staff. So yeah, I literally just got done calling up that office and let the poor secretary at their office, have an earful too, because she was complicit, and, we'll see. I gave him my personal cell phone number, so I guess we'll find out what the reclap has in store next week, but that was this week. How about you, Igor?
Call up the secretary.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. I think that there's a lot of operations in town, whether it be lawyers or whether it be medical providers or whether it be marketing agencies, just you name it, that run like shit. And it's unfortunate, but that's reality. And so when you hear stuff like you'll get it when you get it, that tells me, number one, you don't give a f- but number 2, that you are not in a position as a business to have deadlines, to have timelines, to have things that you're accountable for and that your staff is accountable for, so that you can say, hey, man, it takes us 14 days to get you this. The request came in yesterday, so you'll get it by, whatever, the 15th or whatever you call it. So it's what it is, but that's interesting. And so anyway, what I've been up to, prepping trial with John, who forgot to mention that because of this trial, we did a lot of video depositions of a lot of the experts. I will technically do like 80% of this trial when it goes, because I've already done it, and so all the videos are going to be played and all that kind of stuff. But I can understand why.
That's going to be why he's going to be in town for this one.
The reason Igor did videos is because he gets nervous when there's a jury.
Too many people watching me, man. Gotta work with that. So I did that, and then I had the 30-day milestone review with Ale, who's running the pre-suit department now, who basically taking over for Dylan. That went pretty great. And then I had basically every month we have to do this dashboard that we fill out for the coaching service that we're a part of, where we plug in all the data and stuff like that. It takes a good number of hours to do, so I did that. And then we've been building something pretty amazing. So we spent 3-4 hours just brainstorming and starting what is the beginning of a project plan for some pretty big moves that we're going to make, which we can't tell you about just now, but maybe Cam will shed a little bit of light on that. So,
But maybe you won't.
maybe he won't. So,
Gotta keep you coming back for next week.
That's right. Called a hanging thread. Anyway, this week was my son's birthday, so I took some of last week off, had his birthday party with some wild animals, which was pretty cool. I had a lemur on my head, which was a first.
Is that what you call your hair?
How do I look? Do I look okay? That was cool. And then this week has just been trying to get our project planning in order, because, we've realized that in order to move the way we want to move and grow the way we want to grow, we got to get our project planning on point. So we started some courses and are trying to pick up new skills so we can grow where we want to grow. So I'm just trying to see how much of this I want to reveal now and how much suspense I want to build. But we set up basically a deadline for, I think, maybe not, probably our most ambitious project. Maybe not ever, but certainly in the last year or two.
It's got to be ever. I would say, other than us deciding to start this law firm, it's got to be like the second.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. And so it's very doable. We definitely are going to be able to do it. We have some great ideas, and if it works, then it's going to be big time. Big time. Or big league. We say big league around
Big
here,
league,
right?
yeah.
We say big league around here. It's the big league law firm. That's what we do.
Style and flow, contract release.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach Chippy, I love you, bro. You're the man.
That's right, Coach Chippy.
Hey, don't let him weird you out. All right, that's right, he's cool.
I'm weird right now, bro. I'm weirding myself out. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what's been going on this week. Project planning, skill building, and project planning itself. So it's pretty exciting. And with that, I'd like to raise our non-existent beers. John, nice pink cup.
It's called La Croix.
Oh, by the way, Shockers won their for back-to-back championship this past week.
Yeah, and Dylan, why don't you tell everyone about
Guess what sport?
a certain substitute that
Hockey.
Hey, listen, not for nothing. Hold on, I need to give some props.
It's not a
Because-
weekly recap unless Dylan has to take the mic.
No, I mean, but I mean, you can tell that John, is about to be spoken about because all of a sudden we have time for me to give him accolades. So this past week, I had back-to-back games. Actually, Sunday night, I've been trying to get this dude to play with me. It's actually a level above the league that I started at, which is still several levels below what John would typically play at. And we need an extra guy to come out. Our team is in a rebuilding year.
Dolphins.
No, 100%. I mean, I wasn't even on this team last year, but they lost half of their team to like the other division because they all went to the championship, and everybody was crying saying they were too good to be in the league, whatever. So they lost like 3 games in a row. I played the first one, was out the following 2 weeks. One because I was stuck in the Key Biscayne debacle, then we were in Denver, and then we needed a backup, or sub. So I asked the captain if I could bring in one of my buddies who also may or may not be a ringer, and that was John. So he comes, and we actually happen to know all the other dudes on the other team, and they didn't know who he was, I guess, but they see this guy cut and Deacon stick handling like an absolute legend, and it was our boy John Sullivan. He had 4 goals with an assist.
Nobody
And-
handles a stick like John.
Yeah, I mean his stick handling is incredible. But what I would say is that he wasted no time once he found out that Pines records all of his games, because what he did right after is absolutely record his video screen on his phone to make sure he had every last clip of every goal and every deke and every toe drag that he did in this game against a bunch of cones. But it was cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's always fun to play with John, and say this is the dude that you're playing against. Good luck, Dylan. But no, it was a lot of fun. We actually gave the other team a run for their money. It was, I want to say it was like 5-5 or 6-6 going into the third period, and we have 2 lines, they have 3. At that point, it just kind of became, the other team won. Yeah, the other team won. But I mean, listen, to be honest with you, we would have.
We're telling a story about this?
No. Hey,
John in, he's awesome.
Bro, do you know how much we would have gotten fucking destroyed if John was not there? We would have lost like 11-1 or something.
But at least we wouldn't have had to hear
Yeah.
the story.
I actually had an assist, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. One of these days, you guys need to come out and watch us play. It'll be good.
Is this where you score the goal?
No, it's where you assist the goal, my man. Yeah, I know.
All right.
So that's it. That's it.
We're going to put a new policy in.
Yeah.
Story, bro.
Yeah, it was a good story.
Only hockey stories if you win.
Yeah, right, exactly.